try it again. Trying to do fancy things like multi-streaming, and weird things happen where streams don't work. It's frustrating, man. It's supposed to work like a charm. Apparently not. Alright. Let's get this in here. So now I should be streaming back to Facebook again. I don't know if it stopped or not, but on my end, it told me that it stopped. So I apologize about that extra notification you got, if you got one. Now that we got the radiator mounted, we're going to go ahead and get our plate here added to the case, our I/O shield. Sorry if my head's getting in the way, if it is. And then we're going to make sure that the studs are all there for the micro ATX board. There's a couple missing, so we're going to grab our bag of screws that came with the case and get those added. Again, sorry about that little mishap there. I don't know what happened. I've actually, I was talking to a couple of streamers the other day, and they were telling me that Facebook streaming has been extremely buggy for them the last few days, or the last week or so. And they even had it, they were even asking me if like it was their PC and stuff, and I looked at it, I'm like, dude, no. This is definitely something with Facebook streaming. I don't know if there's just too many people, their servers can't handle it, or what. But, so I am aware that they have some issues. So if it drops out again, I am not fixing it. You can catch up on the stream through Twitch or through YouTube. Probably going to just have to run a mouse and a keyboard over here so I don't have to keep running back and forth. Kind of looks retarded. Alright. So now we've got our mounting studs in there and our I/O shield on the back of the case. So we're going to plop this motherboard in here. Hopefully without too much trouble. Got it. It's going to take a little bit of force on my end to get it to line up here for the holes. I promise I'm not crazy. I'm not just running around my house just to run around. So just make sure you're using the right screws for mounting your motherboard, because you don't want to strip. Make sure you have all the standoffs in the right place, because you don't want a grounding problem. So if you have a mounting stud in the wrong place and it's touching the motherboard in the wrong place where it's not supposed to be touching, it can actually cause a grounding issue. And you don't really want that, because then your computer may not turn on. And it will give you a terrible experience, especially if it's your first time building. Just getting some of these screws cleaned up here. So I kind of got them all over the place now. Alright. And now we're ready to just mount this guy, the pump, to the CPU. I'm going to be using Thermal Grizzly for our thermal paste. If you haven't used it before, it is absolutely awesome. It does a fantastic job. You don't need a lot. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are super picky about their pattern, their spread, whatever you want to call it. But I just do a quick X and wipe it off in between the tip. So nothing too fancy, it's not too difficult, and trust me, it works every time. And I know there's some people out there that are picky about it, but I'm not too picky about it personally, because I know that this will work. Okay, so I'm going to try to get it I just know the glass is going to push down on here, but I think that'll work, the position. Always try to line it up before you mount it. Make sure you're doing it right. Make sure this is out of the way, because this just goes on here and screws into place like so. So now it's on, ready to be mounted. And just make sure you're doing it in such a way that this isn't behind your loops here. And then, because this isn't exactly screwed down to the bottom of the board or the back of the board, or this side of the board, I'm going to put my hand on the other side just to make sure I don't push it through. And then we've got some little nuts here that we use to get it started. There we go, we got all four started by hand. I didn't have as much trouble as I did last time. If you remember the last stream, if you were here, I was dropping them like crazy, and they were falling in some pretty tight places. So that was a little frustrating. But you're going to tighten this down like a wing nut on a tire, a little bit on each corner. Spread the load. Make sure you don't tighten one down all the way because it will push pressure on the pins and it can damage the pins or the plates on the back of the CPU, which we don't want to do. So nice even pressure as we're tightening this. And same thing when you're undoing it. If you ever have to undo this, even release the pressure evenly. Also, it's a good idea if you're undoing this later down the road, you should heat this up, get it hot. So run a hardcore game or a benchmark on it so that it loosens up the thermal paste. Shut it down really quick and pull it off. Another method is to wiggle it a little bit or twist so that you're not pulling on the CPU, because it will create a sticky substance. And you just want it snug here, not like insanely tight, but snug. So I've got it pretty good here. And let's go ahead and fish this wire through the back. I don't remember this being so difficult last time. There we are. Nice and easy. Yes, I ripped my glove again, starting those screws. I done did it. And we're going to feed this one through. This is our RGB connection to our radiator fans and our pump, because there is RGB on the pump and the fans. And it's a daisy chain type connection. It's not a hub, so nothing too fancy here. And last, I'm going to feed our PWM CPU fan header daisy chain for the CPU fans that are on the radiator. Then we're going to flip that over and get those plugged in here. Probably should have plugged these in before I put the motherboard in, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last time as well. So it's going to be a little tricky. Hey Deb. Hey man, is 65% memory normal while running Cold War? It's Brandon, by the way. 65% is pretty normal. I mean, that is a pretty big game. You're going to be running at least. So I think, Brandon, you have 16 gig in your system. So you're going to be running at least 8 gigs in Cold War. That's pretty normal. It is nothing to worry about there, man. 65% is normal. I think on mine I have 32 gigs and I'm still running. I'm running like 25, 30%, maybe 40. So, I mean, for 16 gigs, that sounds about right. Oh my goodness, that just happened. This is a tight fit, man. I'm starting to think I should have plugged these in before I mounted the motherboard and then fed them through. They are hard to get to. I don't remember them being this difficult last time. So, if y'all don't have any of these and you build a lot of computers, okay, for sure, I think I'm going to hold off on the other 2 sticks of RAM until I get paid. I do have 2 extra slots, though, when I'm ready. Yes, you do. You should have 2 extra slots in there. So, yeah, whenever you're ready, man, just let me know. Shoot you a link where you could buy it. This so then you can have it shipped right to you. And if you need help plugging it in, I can do that video call that we were talking about. Get you connected, man. Get plugged in. Again, if you don't have a pair of these surgical pliers and you work on a lot of computers or you build a lot of them, I've used them I don't know how many times to help, and they are amazing. So I would say find yourself a pair of surgical pliers. Long needle nose. Pull this into some more light here so I can see what's going on. Yeah, it's pretty lined up and it should be going in. I'm not sure what the deal is here. There we go. Just an oddly tight 5-volt RGB header. Didn't expect it to be. I shouldn't finish that sentence. I want to buy from you. Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, man, my little sister's birthday is coming up, and she's begging me for a PC. She doesn't want, or she doesn't need what I have. How much for something for an 8-year-old? So what kind of games is she looking to play on there? Because that's really going to determine your cost. While we're waiting for a response there, Roblox, Minecraft. So I mean, you don't need anything super crazy for either of those. I mean, if she's like trying to mod Minecraft, I know it can get crazy. So that kind of is up to you on how much you really want to spend there. But the graphics cards right now are the most expensive thing. And I would say we can get like an RX 570 would be probably like the top. Hey Bobby, how's it going? RX 570 4GB card would probably be the top. I would go, and you could get those for like $250 used. Outside of that, the rest of the computer, we could build something for around $500, $600 ish, give or take, on a low. You know, like a 4-core CPU, nothing super fancy, but enough to be able to play Roblox and some web browser games, Minecraft, things like that. Yeah, we could put something together for relatively cheaper. Cheaper than your build anyway, for sure. So just hit me up afterwards if you want, and we could put something together.
Dad,
An estimate. Yes.
Can you help me get some food? I'm starving.
What? You should be able to get meatloaf. It's meatloaf and potato, right?
Help me.
I will help you in a minute.
Fine.
All right, just a minute.
Okay. I'm not doing anything.
All right, I'm gonna go help me daughter with
Food!
getting some meatloaf real quick. 2 seconds.
I just yelled.
Sorry about that. They say dads have superpowers. And apparently our superpowers are used to cut meatloaf. Love. We're also very handy for mowing the lawn and weed whacking. Unless you outsource that. So yeah, hit me up and we could put an estimate together. For sure. You see how much trouble I'm having putting these gloves on after I had a glove on. My hands are getting sweaty. Not as sweaty as I am when I'm playing Call of Duty, but sweaty. Like, people don't understand, like, calling people sweats and stuff in game. Like, that guy's really sweaty. It's real over here, guys. I get sweaty hands. So yeah, we're gonna get this USB 3 plugged in. It's gonna plug in here up at the top. That's our front panel USB 3. Nice and easy. You can only plug that in one way. It's got a notch. Can't really mess it up. Haven't really met anybody that has yet, so I'm gonna say can't really mess that up. Need a little bit more light here. This is our front panel power and reset, LEDs. All of this here is going to be plugged in. We're going to use all of it. So if you don't know what is what on your motherboard, what pins are what, you can pull out your motherboard manual and look this up. It will tell you exactly what each of these pins are for and how to plug it in. That one, that's for the LED. And once you look at it, it'll make a lot more sense. You know, a lot of people say that they have a hard time with this, and it's simply because you just have to read the manual and understand the graph and where the pins are, and then you'll be just fine. Then our front panel audio, which is usually always on the far bottom left side of the motherboard, or bottom back side. All right, we got that all plugged in, nice and easy, quick. The last thing I want to plug in real quick here is the addressable RGB for the motherboard, or I'm sorry, for the fans, the case fans into the motherboard. Which we're going to plug into this bottom 3-pin 5-volt addressable RGB header. That one was nice and easy. Go figure. Let's do the power supply real quick. Get that out of the way. So you can see here we're starting to blow up quite a bit of wires. And again, this if you haven't purchased this brand before, check them out. Well worth it. Purchase one. Don't be concerned. It works, and they are pretty good quality, in my opinion. Slide this in right here. Don't do what the hell was there? I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, fan down. Put your fan down, face down. You got a vent on the bottom of the case. Put your case fan down. Don't put it facing up. Face up will choke the fan. won't be able to breathe, and you will have a very hot power supply which will eventually burn out and actually could be a fire hazard. So,
Dad,
fan down.
Max is being special. Getting special. He's
I
having
wonder why. Yeah,
Wake up.
he'll love you for a long time
Oh boy.
if you give him a piece of that.
He laid down for it. I told him
I'm sure he would do anything you ask him
to. He wouldn't roll over.
in the
though.
moment.
He wouldn't roll over though. He
No,
doesn't
but
know
he'll
how.
pretend like he understands you.
Yeah, probably. Hi. You happy now?
Alright, we're just getting this screwed in here on the back. Got a couple of them started so I can rotate this. 4 screws. Got the fan down. Then it will line up very nicely, very easily. I see this dust filter on the bottom kind of got moved around. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. As long as you do it right, the build will go nice and easy. I'm chuckling because I forgot to plug these in before I threw it in there. Forgot this one was modular. When you do a ton of stuff throughout the day, you forget little things like this, and then you hate yourself a few moments later. I might actually have to pull this power supply out to do this. I think my hands are small enough. I might be able to do it. We'll see. I'm gonna try. 'Cause I'm that guy. Let's see here. Yeah, I could do this. I could do this, I promise. I'm going to start with these ones. Maybe I can do it. Yeah, screw this. I'm pulling this power supply out. This is what happens when you've got way too many things going on. I worked 12 hours today. I don't even get to use my PC now, tomorrow. And agreed to work half days Saturday and Sunday too. Holy smokes, man. You gotta take a break sometime. But it sounds just like me. I'm working a lot right now, man. When you work a lot, your mind is just so busy. I got a lot going on in my head. I always enjoy streaming though, because that usually helps free up some of my mind. Not really thinking about much of anything else at the time. Just trying to keep everything out of my head. Need some money for a truck, a nice truck. Hey, what kind of truck are you looking for, man? It hurts so bad. Any truck? hear you, man. I don't have a truck right now. I've got a Terrain and a Chevy Cruze, and I miss a truck. I miss trucks. My parents have trucks, and they are very useful, very handy. Especially if you do a lot of do-it-yourself projects and you go to Home Depot and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy a bunch of 2x4s and stuff, and oh right, I'm still driving a Cruze. So, how do you get them home? And then you're that guy driving down the road with 2x4s that are 8 feet long sticking out of the back of a car, 4 feet out of the trunk, or you put them in on an angle, roll down the passenger window, let them stick out on the passenger side. I've done that one before. But yep, I am that guy. I will do that. Yeah, trucks are useful, and I wish I had one. Alright, so now that we got the power supply in with the cables, because we forgot it was modular. Nobody say anything? Oof. We're going to go ahead and get the power supply cables routed so that we can flip this bad boy over, slap the cards in, plug the power cables in, and fire this boy up. Why am I having so much? Okay, there we go. I'm still here, guys. Trying to start a landscaping company. Just a small one. Okay, so you just need a truck for that? Yeah, definitely. Just a nice one, no rust, low miles. Put them on your roof. I'm trying to start, yeah. For sure, man. No, that's pretty cool. You're starting a landscaping company. I did a little bit of landscaping back in my days. When I was younger. Back in the day. Back in my day. Did a little bit of landscaping for a couple of people. Thought about doing my own business, but just, I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. Like, the passion wasn't there like it is for building computers. Just, it was dry. So I never really pursued it. But that's cool, man. I enjoy, working with nature and landscaping. It's fun if I'm doing it for fun. But if I'm doing it for work, and it's just not my thing. I can't do it every day. Waterfalls and ponds too. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that look for that. That are looking for people to do that kind of stuff, especially down here in Lake Orion, in Oxford area. I've seen a lot of people post on the Lake Orion Oxford page asking for anybody that they know. So if you do start it, I will definitely point some business towards you. I don't know how far north or south you'll go. If you'd be willing to come out this way. Okay, yep, I remember now. This was a pain in the butt too. Trying to get the CPU pin, 8-pin, plugged in here. So, I'm going to use my good old pick. I think I used this last time. It's the pick trick. Get some more light in here. Try to get this squared up. Youch. That actually just hurt really bad. Took a pick to the tip of the finger. Got it. Wasn't too bad at all. Here, let me get the blaring sun out of your face. Me and my dad are about to put one in. I'll go far, LMAO, just like you do. I'll drive 4 hours if it's worth it. Yep. If it's worth it, I'll drive. But it's got to be worth it. John, who's my buddy, who's on here, I think, watching still, he's probably like, yeah, right. You don't drive nowhere, Ben. It's because I drive everywhere else. Alright, so we're going to get the video card and the wireless card in here. Again, the video card we're working with today is the MSI NVIDIA GTX 1650. So it's a Venus or Ventus or whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what it is. It is used as well because you can't find any cards, but it's still under manufacturer warranty. So I definitely will not buy a used card unless it's still under warranty. I check it. Take the extra minute to check it. But the cost of cards right now, man. My distributors are 6 months back ordered, so I can't get MSRP pricing. Dog almost tripped me. And everybody else wants $1,000 for a card, and it's just ridiculous, and I refuse to spend that much money on a GTX 1650. Not that they're asking $1,000, but you know what I mean. It's just a ridiculous amount of money. Wireless card. And then we flip it over, do some wire management, and fire her up. Does that sound good for everybody? Everybody want to see what the light show looks like? If you were with me before, you'll have kind of an idea of what it'll look like on the white version of this. I did a white one. There's a white case, white cooler, white fans. Look pretty badass. So I'm pretty excited to see what this one looks like. Fire it up. I think we're gonna squeeze this into this slot down here at the bottom. And wire management, we're just gonna shove it under here. Hey Adrian, can you go upstairs and sit with Chloe for a minute? All right. Just got to get this USB connection plugged in for the Bluetooth on this wireless card. That's USB 2.0 that we're trying to plug into. And for some reason, I just can't get it perfect. Goodness. Finally got it. Right on. That was easy. Right. Let's not forget the back plate this time. Right. And also the screw for the wireless card that I didn't do yet. Let's get this plate screwed in here. And then flip this thing over. Do some wire management magic. Oh boy. Oh boy. These are going to go that way. I think I'm just going to get a zip tie on here just to clean it up a little bit here so I can think. So my head doesn't like explode here. And maybe one more here. There we go. Clean this up real quick. Wire management, guys, this is probably the most boring part of the video, but let me tell you, it is worth every minute because it makes this insane pile of mess look so much better. When you open it up and you got to work on something in the back, it just makes 100% sense. And it doesn't take that long to do, and it makes a huge difference, in my opinion, quality of the build. So, if you're considering it, I highly recommend it. Spend the extra few minutes just to clean it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be anything super fancy and perfect. I do that on some of my bigger builds or orders. I'll go crazy on them. Make them look really nice. But for the most part, you just gotta make it so it looks semi-decent and makes sense. Excuse me. Plugging our front fans in that are on the front of the radiator to our PWM CPU header. Then we're going to zip tie that down here in a second. And then we've got 3 RGB. I'm sorry, this is the pump. Oopsie. We're going to actually figure that out here in a minute. And our RGB over here, we've got 3 of them here to plug in. This is just on a daisy chain. So, start with 1. This is 5 volt RGB. Technically, you could add more to this if you wanted to, which is kind of cool, given the fact that sometimes people will have more RGB items that they need to add on. And you can with this daisy chain without taking up a full plug. It's very possible you could do it, so there's another expansion option here. Before I tie that down, I'm going to get this pump plugged in. So I was an idiot and I forgot to plug it in. If I remember correctly, the pump is in a weird spot on this board. Very weird spot. I just realized CPU fans on the top, not the bottom. Aha. AIO pump is right there. I'm going to need my surgical pliers once again to get this pump plugged in, because it is a tight squeeze in there, my friends. Got it plugged in just like that. Surgical pliers, go buy them if you're building. They will save you a ton of time. All right, a couple more zip ties and we're good to go. Probably going to do a few more zip ties than normal. I am a freak about this, and I'm sorry. I apologize in advance if I'm spending too much time zip tying shit. You guys just want to see the build. But I am a freak about this stuff. I like it clean. If I don't like it, then I don't think you like it. I probably use more zip ties than anybody else. No, I'm just kidding. There's probably a lot of people that use more than me. Electricians and all sorts of people that would use more zip ties than me for sure. That's fine like that. I don't need to undo that. Perfect. It's good enough. I like it. It's good enough. When you're snipping things, always make sure you can see what you're snipping. So once you snip, there is no going back. Unless you got some electrical tape and some solder and maybe a few extra minutes or some shrink wrap and add 5 minutes. Alright, let's get the front panel on here. I am just gonna love the way this is gonna look with those clear whitish fans kind of poking through that mesh. Looks good. Actually, let's get the side panel on real quick. Just like flipping it around, you know, like a pancake. Slot that bad boy in there, slide it on. 2 screws. Underlay. It's almost that time, guys. You want to see the prize at the end of the road here. Fire it up and see what it looks like. I'm going to peel the plastic before I fire it up because I have full confidence that this bad boy is going to fire up. Alright. You could clip that if you want and do cue up some fail music for me because I know my luck. Again, this is a door hinged style glass side panel. So you gotta line it up, drop it in. I'm surprised I got it that quick.
Oh, is there another one of those door handle things?
Yep. So there we are.
Just like this one, Dad?
We got it fired up. Yep, just like that one. We're gonna get this thing fired up now.
Max is attacking my plate.
Well, I can't imagine why.
There wasn't that much stuff on it.
There was enough for him to be interested in it. No, I have not tested any of these parts before this stream, so we're live as live can be. If this thing explodes live, you guys will see it. Let's just make sure it's in the good position here. Turn the light off. Make sure we have power. And is that too dark? Might be too dark. It's gonna kind of blur out the screen there. That's a little better. There we have it. What do y'all think? Think the RGB is enough in there? You got RGB on the cooler, the pump, RGB on the RAM right here. Then you got some RGB up here. And then the front, we got some RGB on the AIO, the front. The only thing that's really missing is some RGB on the front here, but again, I was talking about that. You really can't do it in this case. Not with just not with the case. There's just not enough space there. So, I mean, you could try, do what you want to try, you know, give it a shot. But from my experience, there's just not enough space there at all. Maybe you could put like one fan up here. I think I was talking about this before. You could put a fan up here maybe. Mount it to the radiator. Do a push-pull. But you can't get that second fan in there. So, anyway guys, this is it. It's all set. It's ready to go. She's running posted. I've got a post. So I'm at the BIOS telling me new CPU installed. That's how confident I am. I peeled the peel, fired it up, and it worked. Not flexing or anything. But anyway, guys, I'm going to take a break here, and if there's still people on the stream here in a little bit, or if you guys want me to do another build, I will. I do have 3 builds total to do today. So just let me know, and I'll keep streaming it. If not, have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time if I don't continue the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want me to keep doing these streams, definitely share this. I want to see it grow. If it's growing, then I'm going to keep doing it. If it's not growing, it's kind of a waste of my time. So, alright guys, take care.
memory has nothing to do with it. It's a life process. It's an existential process. This can only happen if you allow yourself to be just a piece of life that you are. To do this, we do many things here, and to become silent, silent, silent. Realize that you're actually stupid, you don't know anything in this existence, then you can simply look at life with great sense of wonder.